What's up? What's up?
What's
What
up,
did
y'all?
Martin say? What's up?
What's up?
This is BOXN1. I'm your host, Ralph Wright. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Elise Clyburn. And
What
if
I
you
know?
don't know who we are the one show that talks about all things basketball. That's why we are named BOXN1. Um, with that, we're just two former coaches, players, referees, trainers. We're all the above. Anything that has to do with basketball, we've done it within the past 25 years. So we bring
Yeah.
that 25 years of experience, um, conspiracy, body language, psychology degrees, marketing, business. We do it all. We bring it all together for you. And with that, we just talk. So, these are conversations that we have across the board. Plus, you've already know that if you already tuned in before, so you probably already know that. So, with that even being said, we just gotta dive right into today's subject, and
What we talking about, Ralph?
today's subject is the Grizzlies, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. But Ja Morant is that he's that stone. He's one of I don't know what stone to call him, but when you think Marvel, he's one of those six stones that Thanos was looking for.
Oh,
So
if we were to redraft that draft class,
I don't want to get in hypotheticals. He was still going to be drafted number 2. He's still going to be drafted number 2, regardless of what he's doing. Regardless of what he's doing, you have to understand Zion. Zion is Zion.
I'll be honest with you, Ralph. Through the start of the season, I would be drafting Ja. If we're using this sample size, I'd be drafting Ja. Ja standing out.
I feel you, but we also have to be honest in how teams draft.
You draft for needs. I get it.
Yes. So
you had a point guard. You had a point guard already. You just traded for him. I get it. But this boy Ja, the numbers Ja's putting up right now is ridiculous. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Before we lock in, before you say that, before you ask me the question, I just want to give you props so far. Because you definitely said that Ja could have an MVP season. And he's doing that right now. So let me go ahead and give you props. Now you can ask your question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you love.
So since you said that, since you weren't a believer at the time, and maybe you're still not, what about Ja's game do you think is really impacting Memphis Grizzlies right now?
You said I wasn't a believer?
I didn't say you weren't a believer. Maybe you weren't a full believer like I was in him being an MVP level performance this year. I mean, we all know Ja's good. He's good. He's one of the top guards in the league.
We knew he was going to take a leap. We felt, because I think we both agreed at one point, it might not have even been on camera, but we agreed that in order for the Grizzlies to be considered one of the top teams, Ja would have to be an MVP. He would have to play like that. And I'm looking, so
what are you noticing then from this season so far?
The game is slowed down considerably. And that's bad for the league. Not for him. It's bad for the league. So if you remember Derrick Rose's MVP season,
he just seemed like he was so much faster.
He was faster, but that was when the league slowed down to him. He finally mastered the league at not all-star, but at a Hall of Fame level.
Yeah.
So Derrick Rose is the closest I can say, if Derrick Rose and Ja Morant's game are so similar. The difference is Ja is a mixture of Derrick Rose and Allen Iverson.
And I would say I think when he first came into the league, the first month, everybody was like, man, he's Derrick Rose. He's Derrick Rose just because of the way he was putting his body out there and some of the landing. But this season, he's looking a lot more like AI. Oh my gosh, man.
Everything's clicked for him. And everybody's like, well, the one thing that needs to improve is his shot. I mean, his percentages. And I'm looking back on, I was like, Ja's never had a healthy team.
No, and since you talk about percentages, let's talk about what he's doing right now, right? Yeah, he's second in the NBA in scoring behind Curry. He's averaging 28.7, so 29 points a game. he's shooting 52% from the field. So his shooting has increased from the 3-point line, 38.9, bounce it up to 39. I mean, those are great numbers. Those are absolutely great numbers. So his shooting, I mean, what you said, the game is slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking the right shots.
What helps is that, you know, the guy that's supposed to be the number 2,
Jaren Jackson Jr.
is healthy. You know, they haven't had any major injuries, and then, you know, hopefully, you know, knock on all the wood, like that, they don't have any major injuries this year.
Hey, who did they pick up this year that we said was going to be instrumental to the team's success?
Steve Adams.
I mean,
Steve Adams.
They're doing the right things.
He helps make them better defensively, and this is a team that's already a good defensive team before he got there. And then offensively, he creates, like you mentioned, he's going to be able to create that space. He's the one player that can create space without touching the basketball,
without shooting.
Like he's one of the few guys, like he doesn't need to even touch the basketball to create that space, because he's great at setting screens, whether it's on ball or off ball. And that's what, you know, we talked about the similarities between him and Russ. I said, Steven Adams already worked with a point guard that's similar when it comes down to an attack mode and a downhill point guard.
Dude.
So at this point, it's like, yo, he can give him the tricks that work for us. And all Ja had to do is incorporate that into his game. Those percentages are naturally going to jump up when I tell you get an extra 0.7 or extra 0.6 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, to get the ball off.
Yeah.
You know that now you can relax a little bit. You don't have to be so rushed. And there's nothing against Valanciunas, because Valanciunas is, you know, he's doing a good job with the Pelicans.
He's doing a really good job down there at Pelicans. I would say, like, with the point you just brought up, that Steven Adams has experience with a point guard similar to a down. Steven Adams has experience with a downhill point guard like Russ. But in this case, you have a young guy who isn't really trying to prove himself to his former teammates. He's trying to prove himself to the league. So this guy is open to maybe hearing some pointers or whatever. Like, it's a perfect situation. Like,
and his team bangs with him.
And
his team bangs with him. Jenkins is doing a great job with that squad. Like, and then I mentioned Bane, because I was the one I was telling you. I was like, yo, I think Bane, sophomore, he's having a great year.
You did. You said this could possibly. I think if we did the division talk, I think you said Bane could be a most improved type player.
Yeah, we did. So, we did mention that, and he's been playing good. So, you know, as much as, and when you have a shooter like a Bane on the court with a guy that goes downhill, good luck, because how can you defend them when they're on the same side? Like, you can't even cheat the gap. You cheat the gap, and, you know, he's going to slide basically to the baseline. You're going to try to double Ja, and he's going to get the kick. Yep. And then, you know, if Ja runs a pick and roll or pick and pop, or, you know, any type of pick and fade with Jaren Jackson Jr., good luck. You can't guard that. Like, you can't double team one of them.
And Jaren Jackson, he's actually, so, like, it's multiple things, right? Jaren Jackson Jr., he's, one, not injured right now. Two, he's still committing a lot of fouls, but way less than he used to. So he's staying on the floor for longer periods of time.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that's being in shape and healthy.
Being in shape and healthy, and you also have Steven Adams, who's taking over some of those 5 position. And like you said, Steven Adams is the anchor of a defense. So, I mean, he's helped, like, this Memphis Grizzlies team. So, like, right now, they're currently, the team is 8th in the NBA in all scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. And you're talking about not really having huge scores on the team outside of Ja. That means that their scoring is being distributed throughout the team. They are in the power rankings, they're 16th in power rankings currently. Now, they've had some losses, but, like, they're in a tough division. Like,
but the thing is, because we spoke about that though too, and when we did our vision. So the thing is, what people also got to understand, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So I'm almost positive. So last year, like, looking at the team, I don't even think Dylan Brooks has been playing yet.
No. So Ralph, like, they're 16th in power rankings, but they're 9th in conference. That's telling you how hard this conference is. Like, the West is still the West. The East has gotten better, but the West is still the West at the end of the day.
The West has gotten better though. Like, and it's hard because people don't understand. Like, literally, I've had 13 teams when we talked about the West. I said 13 teams. 13 of these teams can go, and then you look at the Pacific Division. I was like, yo, all 5 of them have they have the talent to go. You know, it comes down to coaching. And it comes down to health. It's going to come down to coaching, health, and management, because, you know, at some point within the next month or two, a trade is going to happen with some of these top teams.
It has to, because they're going to realize they got to stand out. But like right now with the Grizzlies, I think time is just going to help them. Like time is just going to help you. You don't have Brooks back. You're still acclimating Steven Adams to this roster. What I'm seeing, and I think from what I'm hearing, what you're seeing, just a couple more games, like Christmas break, this team's gonna be grooving. This team's gonna be grooving.
By New Year's, the league better watch out, because the games that they lost were winnable games.
Oh, 100%.
So you can't. I'm gonna like a lot of people don't understand is the team that you see in November is not the team you're gonna see in March.
No.
And then if Ja is playing like this right now, when the rest of his team catches up, which is going to happen, like I said, because they all bang with him, you know, when the rest of the team catches up, and you know, it's a coaching thing with Jenkins too. Like he's gonna have to, you know, do what he needs to do as a coach. But I don't see them losing games in the way that they lost those games. Like, you know, people are like, oh, the way they you know, they beat the Warriors.
And I'm looking
They're
at
supposed to.
Check this out. So I'm looking at their team roster. They only have 2 guys on the team who are above 30 years old. This is a young team.
And what I was going to say is they remind me of a version of the Spurs. Like a version of the Spurs where, you know, anybody on their team can kill you and they play together. Yeah, Ja's getting buckets, but Ja's not forcing much.
He's not.
Ja's MVP because Ja's MVP like right now, because one, the game is so easy, but the game is so easy because he trusts his teammates and his teammates trust him.
So they have, I'll go over through 6 games, their scorings. I'm not going to say any names, but this is what players on the team was averaging: 28.7, 18.8, 13.7, 12.7, 10.2, 7.2.
18 is Jaren Jackson. 13.2 is Bane.
No, 18.8 is Bane. 13.7 is Melton, the shooting guard.
So where's Jackson? Jackson's at 13?
12.7. 13. That's what I'm trying to say. So they're still grooving, dude. Like they're still grooving.
And Bane's minutes are gonna drop when Brooks comes back.
Maybe. But like this team is grooving. And then you have Kyle
Anderson.
You got Slow-Mo. Slow-Mo's the one averaging 7. So he's not fully even acclimated yet. Like,
but that's Slow-Mo. My thing is Slow-Mo's gonna hover around that 7 to 10 point range, but it's his assist for me. He's that Sean Livingston type player where he does a lot of things that don't show up and statistically, but he's always been a winner. He's always been that type of player that, you know, he plays winning basketball. That's why when draft came and I was like, oh, everybody's like, oh, he fell. I was like, nah, he landed in the right team. He's going to be a professional for a very long time after a couple of years in San Antonio, you know, and him getting to Memphis is, I mean, Memphis can win the West. They have the heart, they have the ignorance. Like they're not supposed, like they don't know that they're not supposed to win. You know what I'm saying?
So check this out. The only place where I wish they could increase in would be their overall assists. But I'm gonna read the rebounds to you. This is the same guys that I just named. The starting 6, the 6 men, right?
Yeah.
Rebounds: 5, 4, 5, 5, 10, 5. Excuse me?
That's a lot of boards.
That's a lot of boards between just 6 players. Like this team is playing hard. They're not making it easy.
And that's without their best defender.
Thank you. So this Memphis Grizzlies team with, led by Ja, dude, I can't wait to see what happens near
Ja and Dylan Brooks remind me of the duo in Mighty Ducks. The Bash Brothers.
I'm done.
Yo, because you don't want to see them both on the court together. Like you don't. Because my thing is this, like Dylan Brooks is that type of dude, like when you have to play against him, you're probably like, dang.
Oh, here we go again.
Why do tonight, like I really got to show up. You know, I'm not saying like there's nights where you don't have to show up, but you know those annoying players, because you know regardless from start to finish, regardless of what the score is going to be like, they're going in and they're digging it. That's the type of players, like as a coach, you love. You're like, yo, I love players like that, and you wish you had 10 or 15 of those type of guys on your team, because you know with players like that, you're always going to be in the game. And like I said, those games that they lost, you add a guy like Dylan Brooks in there, that's a dub. That's a quick dub. So
I'm good. I'm good on them. I can't wait to see
good.
what they're
Hopefully Ja could keep this up, stay injury free. I think like we mentioned, his injuries last year is probably what hurt them from going to the playoffs. So it's killer season right now for Ja. Hopefully he maintains that. He's definitely proven himself to be an all-star this year so far. So it's gonna be tough. Somebody from the West ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, they ain't make it.
They ain't gonna make it.
This will be a hard playing game.
All right, so before we knock it out or before we close out, you got anything you want to say? Any gems?
Ja for MVP. Let's go. Make the t-shirt right now. Memphis fans, make the t-shirt, send it my way.
You the captain of the Ja. The Ja.
Man, if I'm buying a house on an island, Ja for MVP island, I'm buying a big ass mansion. Sorry about my cursing. I'm buying a mansion.
Well, with that being said, until next time, y'all continue to walk in your greatness. This is BOXN1. Matter of fact, before I even tell you I continue to walk in your greatness, I retract that, bring that back a little, okay? Like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend that we're here. Leave a comment. It's all love. Continue to be great.
Peace.